Hi, I'm Florian Schattenmann. I'm the Chief Technology Officer for Cargill. First of all, innovation is not optional for us. When we look at the challenges in our industry, from sustainability, health and nutrition, innovation is absolutely critical. And the challenges are big, sometimes or often too big for one company, for one entity to do it. So we have to operate in an ecosystem approach. We have four pillars to this approach. Number one is we still have a very strong and powerful internal research and development activity. But we also have something we call XI, external innovation. So we engage with early stage startups, with consortia, with accelerators, entities like this to find new and emerging technologies. Number three, we have a ventures team that looks for technologies that are a little bit more mature, maybe Series A, Series B type of startups. And the last one is, which is sort of just coming off the ground, is we call that the launch pad. And that's again working with startups, but not really funding them, not really making an investment in them or an equity investment. It is more allowing them, once they have the secured funding somewhere else, to try some of our facilities to check out their technologies. So it's more of the validation of the technology. It's those four arms that allows us to flange up and to coordinate with the innovation ecosystem. There's a few approaches. First of all, there's innovation versus R&D, right? Innovation is a much bigger story. You have to have the right mindset. You have to allow people to try something and maybe fail and then try something else, right? The first is you creating that mindset, allowing people to try some stuff, but don't spend too much money up front. Cycle through ideas, try something, have some jugular experiments, try to figure out if this has legs. And then as we have to invest more, then we ask tougher and tougher questions. I think that's one area. Number two is really look at what are some of the key challenges, and then where do we have capabilities where we can actually win. Sometimes on a PowerPoint slide, on a white paper, everything is worth pursuing. But when you really look at where are you strong, where do you have great capabilities? For instance, we have strong capabilities in precision fermentation. Well, let's make sure that we leverage the areas where we are strong, and then maybe outsource or partner on areas where we're not so strong. So I think that's another area. So doubling up on where you're good at and making sure that you dovetail into the ecosystem where you're not so good at. And then of course, we have that connectivity. We're the great connector into the marketplace. We are talking to our customers all the time. We make sure that we understand what the consumer is going, where the world is going, the sustainability challenges. So insights is another key part. So I think that's kind of the cocktail that comes together to really do great innovation in a place like Cargill. Of course, we always follow emerging technologies. It's super critical to be at the pulse of time, but you also have to be somewhat careful to not fall into this idea of a hype curve and just jump in it without looking at the merits of each technology. AI is clearly here to stay. It's a critical technology. But just like the high throughput innovation or before, or it will have real uses, and it will have areas where it's maybe only small, small impact. So the way we're using it is we're using specific examples, specific areas where we try an AI around, from early deep science to knowledge management, to how to invest or engage with the customer. So different areas where we apply that in a very specific way, rather than trying to boil the ocean all across. AI will be around, automation is critical, biotech, similar story. Not every molecule deserves to be addressed via a biotech route, right? You have to be very careful. Where does it make the most sense? fundamentals like stoichiometry and thermodynamics are very important to consider here. So the approach here is always monitor, always being close to it, and then use it wisely and often in collaboration. I think most important for a startup is to understand who you are and what your strengths are and what you really bring to the table. Sometimes I feel startups just want to do it all, and they think from the idea to the final scale and the branding and everything has to be done by the startup, and often that can be too much. So partnering at the right way and understanding I bring this to the table, and that value is important, but there's other pieces that maybe somebody else can bring to the table. As I always tell startups, 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. The other thing is startups tend to overvalue the idea, the concept, and maybe undervalue what it takes to really bring it into the marketplace and scale it. And so I think understanding the different weight and importance of the different stages from discovery all the way to final product, and then understanding where to really double up and where to maybe partner is, I think, most important. So those would be some of the advices. Talk to us. That's really the key.